for pre-need, funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. And we mentioned baseball just a moment ago, and one of the greats in Sylacauga history, Mr. Ed Dark, passed away yesterday at the age of 82 years old. He died at Grandview Medical Center. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel will announce arrangements for Mr. Ed, who touched so many lives in a positive manner, from children, through his church, through his work in the community. His father, former mayor of Sylacauga, Mr. Joe Dark, but Mr. Ed Dark, age 82, died yesterday at Grandview Medical Center in Birmingham. And those of you who knew Mr. Ed and knew what kind of guy he was, that laughter was infectious, and he was just such a joy to be around. And he would, several of the guys would meet over at Wright Sprayberry Insurance Agency, and with Steve and some of the other fellows over there every morning, and Ed would be right in the middle of it, and such a giant of a man who made such a quality impact on so many people in the Sylacauga area. Mr. Ed Dark, age 82 of Sylacauga, died yesterday. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel will announce the arrangements. Funeral service for Mr. Homer Lee Smith III will be today at 1 p.m. from New Friendship Church in Childersburg. Burial in the Smyrna Cemetery in Coosa County. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel will direct the service. Funeral service for Mrs. Mary Ann Allred of Harpersville. That service will be today at 2 o'clock from Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel, with burial in the Harpersville Cemetery. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel, directing. Mr. James Lee Pilkington Sr., age 75, died Monday. The family will receive friends on Thursday from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. at Talladega Funeral Home. Funeral service will be Friday, April 27th at 2 o'clock in the chapel of Talladega Funeral Home, with burial to follow in the Munford City Cemetery. Talladega Funeral Home directing that service. Funeral service for Mr. Tony D. Smith, age 61, is Thursday at noon from Mount Zion Baptist Church in Sylacauga, with Pastor Roger Holzclaw officiating. Burial in the Harper Springs Church Cemetery in Sylacauga. Visitation is today, 1 until 8 o'clock, and family hour from 6 till 7 at the funeral home. Mr. Smith died April the 19th at his residence in Sylacauga. Online condolences at communityfuneralhome.org. Community Funeral Home in Sylacauga directing. Funeral service for Mrs. Virginia Blanc King War, age 82, of Alexander City, will be Thursday at 11 o'clock from First United Methodist Church in Alexander City. The Reverend John Brasilio and the Reverend Michael Morgan officiating. Burial in the Alexander City Cemetery. The family receiving friends Thursday, 9:30 a.m. until 10:45 a.m. at First United Methodist Church in Alexander City. Radley Funeral Home directing. Memorial service for Ashley Marie Lovelady, age 37, will be Sunday, April 29th at 3:30 at Rocky Creek Baptist Church, with Reverend Harold Cummings, along with Randy Anderson officiating. The family receiving friends on Sunday at the church from 1:30 until 3:15. This Lovelady died Monday, April 23rd at Grandview Medical Center. Memorial messages can be sent to the family at radleyfuneralhome.com. Radley Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Mrs. Christy Ray Fuller, age 50, of Alexander City, will be today at 2 o'clock from the chapel of Radley Funeral Home. Reverend Larry Cummings officiating. Burial in the Hillview Memorial Park. Mrs. Fuller died Saturday, April 21st at Russell Medical Center. She was a member of the Wayside Baptist Church. Memorial messages can be sent to the family at radleyfuneralhome.com. Radley Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for James Thomas Tom Patton Sr., age 85, of Alexander City, will be Thursday at 11 a.m. from Orr Street Baptist Church, with Reverend Turk Holt officiating. Burial in the Hillview Memorial Park. The family receiving friends tonight, 5 until 7 o'clock at Radley Funeral Home. Mr. Patton died Sunday, April 22nd at Chapman Healthcare Center. He was a member of the Orr Street Baptist Church. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleyfuneralhome.com. Radley Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Charles Dennis Pike, age 66, of Alexander City, is today at 11 a.m. from the chapel of Radley Funeral Home. Burial in the Hillview Memorial Park. The family receiving friends today, 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. at the funeral home. Mr. Pike died Sunday, April 22nd at UAB in Birmingham. He was a member of the First Baptist Church of Alexander City. Memorials can be made to the American Diabetes Association, 3918 Montclair Road in Birmingham, 35213, or to diabetes.org. Memorial messages can be sent to the family at radleyfuneralhome.com. Radley Funeral Home in Alexander City with the funeral arrangements. These obituaries brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. 256-245-4361. For pre-need, call Miss Doris Thrash today at 256-245-4361. For pre-need, funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975, Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.